Hi, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's class is going to focus on hip, shoulder, and wrist mobility. We're going to be bringing some blood flow into those important joints and getting them to move with ease. So, hope you're ready, and let's get moving. You're going to start seated and start with just some nice gentle shoulder shrugs. Inhaling the shoulders up, exhaling to drop them back. Inhaling to take them up. Exhaling, relax them. So as we get moving, I want you to just hone in your breath with your movement. So just incorporating one breath per each direction you move. Inhaling as they come up, exhaling as they come down. One more time. Let it go, and then switch directions. Take them up and drop them in front. Keep moving with the breath here. If you ever get lost during any of these classes, just come back to the breath. Start with that and then get the movement going one more time. And then we're going to bring the arms in front. I want you to turn the palms facing the ceiling and then rotate them back down. So it may not seem like we're really doing much here, but you're starting to rotate the humeral head in the socket. So right from the tip of the shoulder, and then the elbows and the wrists follow. Opening up, and then back down. You may start to get some kinks and cracks out of here. One more time, open it up, hold it open. And I want you to take your left hand and start to stretch each finger of the right hand. So just very gently. Pulling it down, nice little stretch from the pinky into the ring finger. And then the middle. I'm gonna stretch that one out. We like to use that. And the pointer. And the whole time the wrist is getting a really nice little stretch. Don't forget about that thumb. And then you're gonna close the hand, turn it over, and shake it out a little bit. And then the left hand's gonna come up, and then start to stretch from the pinky side in. So pinky's gonna get a nice little stretch there. And then the ring finger. And then the pointer. You may notice if it starts to get into your neck here, just take notice of that. We're gonna work our body all the way from the fingers down to the toes today. And then last but not least, that thumb. And then make a fist and shake it out. And then we're gonna take the arms up, nice big inhale here. Interlace your fingertips together. And I want you to start to bring them into your heart. Press the fingertips out, take another big inhale here. Nice big inhale, fill your lungs. Holding here, you're gonna relax your shoulders, relax the neck, and then let's just get a little head nod in here, turning the head no. Coming side to side, looking to each elbow crease. Inhaling as you come through center. And twisting. And then find center here. And you're gonna slowly start to bring the hands in front of you, pressing them away. I want you to press your chest away from the hands. And then start to take them back up to the top. One last big inhale. And on the exhale, break free, let those hands go. Just falling down to your sides. You're gonna keep your right hand down on the mat and take your left hand over, pressing the air up and overhead as you bend into that right elbow. Working to keep both of those sits bones grounded. Inhale, give that right hand a little press to come back up. And take it over to the left. So as you reach to the left, I want you to think about pressing that right hip bone down, reaching in opposition. Inhale, give that left hand a little press, and come back through center. Right side bending. You should feel a nice little stretch through that left hip. As we get started, just getting all those nice long muscles in our body like the obliques stretched out. And then come back up to center. And just hold it here. You're gonna start to bring the soles of your feet together. Hands are gonna hold the ankles. And now I want you to start to come forward on the inhale And then exhale, start to round out your back and look to your belly button, letting the shoulders be pulled forward by your hands holding your ankles. Inhaling to come forward, soft bend in the elbows, and then exhaling to come back. So this is really just a seated version of cat-cow stretch. You're just moving with the breath, moving through back flexion and extension, rounding out through that lumbar flexion, and then inhale, coming into a bit of thoracic extension, opening up the heart. Last 2 times. And then we're gonna make some circles here. So coming back one last time, I want you to just lean back against the weight of your hands holding. Just feel the shoulders being pulled away. Maybe take the head side to side. Feels good. And then bring it back into center. You're gonna start to make some circles, pulling yourself over to the right, down toward your toes, and over to the left, almost pushing away to come back through center. And just keep going to the right side. So just notice how this starts to open up the hips. And if this is a little too much for your hips, you can always sit on a yoga block or a yoga blanket or a phone book. It doesn't have to be anything yoga related. Just find things around your house that work. And then when you come through center this time, you're gonna reverse directions, take it over to the left, back down to the toes, and over to the right. Reverse, reverse. Taking it around town, all the SpongeBob references here. Moving your body just how it feels right. One more big circle here. Moving slowly to get your money's worth. And then sit up nice and tall. Use your hands to help bring the knees back together. Sometimes they get a little stuck out there. Hands are gonna come back behind the hips, fingertips facing in. You're gonna lean into the hands and just gently drop the knees side to side. So kind of massaging out the glutes here. Feels good. And then one last time both ways. Nice little booty massage. And then you're gonna bring yourself down. So I'm gonna turn on my mat so you guys can see me. You're gonna roll yourself all the way down to your back, letting your spine align on that floor, however it ends up. And then we're just gonna start with a little bit of knee floats. So again, working from the pelvic, working a little pelvis stability in here. You're gonna float your right leg, keeping the knee bent, float the knee up over the hip, and then come back down nice and slow. And then the left side's gonna float it up, and then step it back down. So just alternating sides here, like you have a little balloon tied to each of your kneecaps. It's just floating up and over. Good, floating up and over instead of just pulling the knee into the hip. So floating versus pulling, right? One of them takes a lot more control. That's the right one, yeah. Contrology. Fitness of control. Last one, right side is gonna come up. You're gonna take the left elbow and bend it. So the left hand's gonna come up. Now we have the arm and the leg in opposition. We're gonna open and close them. So you're gonna just keep the elbow connected and both of the hips stay grounded. Opening the right leg out to the right, the left hand out to the left. Exhale to bring them back together. You're pulling back together from your belly. Feeling this cross-abdominal connection. This is great stabilization for your hips and your shoulder. We're gonna build on this. One more open and close. Holding back above you. You're gonna straighten out both, reaching both up to the ceiling, and then bend both to come back down. So just elongating the muscles, reaching both up and bending both in. Last two, and then we'll hold it up. One more, come up and hold. Now you're gonna flex that foot, lower the arm and the leg, and then point the toe, come back up. Flex and lower, and point and lift. Flex and lower, And point and lift one more time. Holding when you get to the top, we're going back to that open and close with the arm and leg straight. So you're gonna open both, close both. Open and close. Yeah. Moving with the breath. Inhaling as you open, feel the ribs expand. Exhale, feel them pulling back together like elevator doors. Last one, hold it up to the top. Take the left arm down to the mat. Both hands are firmly pressing down. Circle with that right leg. So again, pelvic stability here. Nothing moves, just the femur head in that socket. For 2, 1, and then reverse it. Making those circles as big or as small as what seems appropriate for your body. We all have different bodies. And then that leg is gonna come in, give it a quick little hug, and then step it back down because we gotta do the other side now. All right, take that left leg into tabletop. Right elbow's gonna bend. Check in, make sure those hips stay level. You're gonna start by reaching or opening both out to the side, and then come back in. I tend to get ahead of myself. I get excited, and then back in. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, close it. Moving with the breath. We're not rushing here. Just because you know what's coming next, don't rush to get there. Get the most out of each step. One more, hold it above you. And then we're bending and extending, reaching up, elongating those muscles, and then bending them back in. So we're just moving through some stretching, and then bringing it back in. Last 2. Holding this next one, reach up and hold it. Now you're flexing the foot, lower both. Point the toe, lift both. Pressing into that right foot for support on the mat. Point the toe, come back up. For 2. Bring it up, use the belly. One more time. Come up and hold. Into that adduction, open it and close it. Be mindful if that right knee starts to move out to the right. Our body has a way of cheating to make it easier on us. 2. Last one, and then we're gonna bring that arm down. The leg stays lifted. Shoulder blades are pressing down and back, just the leg circles. For 3, 2, and 1. And then the leg is gonna reverse directions, take it the other way. Again, watching that right leg, check in, see if it's moving. Pressing into all 4 points of that right foot on the mat. Last 2, 1. And then bring that knee in. Give it a hug. Maybe rock a little. And then you're gonna take this foot, step it back down to the mat, and we'll take this into our bridging series. I want you to start to roll yourself up, peel your spine off of the mat, all the way up to those shoulders. Now we're gonna give those shoulders a little bit of love here. You're gonna take the arms up overhead. Rest the backs of your hands on the floor behind you, and then start to roll down nice and slow. You may start to get a little stretch, a little crack out of the upper back. Arms are gonna circle back to your sides. Rolling yourself up, working that spinal articulation. Inhale, arms come up and over. Exhale, roll it down. And then circle back to your hips. One more time like this. Lifting the hips, arms continue. Start to roll down, feel the ribs pull down to the mat. And then the lower back, and then the tail. And then the arms come back to your sides. Now this next bridge, I want you to roll up and hold it. When you get there, you're gonna take the hands and clasp them together. So start to press the knuckles down towards your heels. Toes are reaching forward, knees are reaching over the toes. And then try to relax those shoulders. Maybe start to get the neck a little bit longer. Breathing here. letting the breath get into those tight muscles and try to help us into a deeper stretch. One more big breath here. Let it go and release the hands, and then release the bridge. And then you're just gonna take the knees and drop them side to side. So just slowly moving with the breath, like windshield wipers, taking them to one side and then the other. And then we're gonna add on to this knee drop. So you're gonna add your head turning over your opposite shoulder and then coming back with the legs. So your knees go to the left side, your head looks over your right shoulder. And then inhale the legs back through center, exhale over to the other side. So it should feel like a nice gentle little twist here. Just opening up the back after all of that lifting that we just did with our hips. And then you're gonna add on again. So the opposite arm that your head is turning to, super confusing here, is gonna come up overhead. So the same side that your knees go to, your arm comes up. So knees come to the right, right arm comes overhead, head looks over the left shoulder. Inhaling through center, left hand comes up overhead, knees drop to the left, head looks over the right shoulder. Go slow until you get it here. It's confusing. It's called Angels in the Snow, but I've never made a snow angel like this, so you tell me. I think it needs a new name. But it does feel good for the shoulders and the back. All right, last one, enjoy it. And then you're gonna find center, roll yourself over onto your right side. All right, everybody's favorite, side lying, booty work. You're gonna take yourself down on your mat, your elbow or your shoulder, you choose. The legs stay bent here. Your top hand can come in front or come to the hips for support. You're gonna hover the top leg and take it forward and back. So without letting this hip wobble, it's gonna just move with the leg. Yeah, like you're squeezing a ball behind the knee. And if you've ever done my reformer class, I make you do this with a ball behind the knee, because I'm mean. No, because I want you to get the most out of it. I want you to get your money's worth. One more time. And then you're gonna hold this knee in front of your hip. So holding here, like you have a pencil taped to the kneecap. You're gonna draw a circle, circling from that cap of your knee. Yeah. For 2. And one more time. And then reverse the circle, take it the other way. Breathing as you go, check in. I don't care how you breathe here, just make sure you're not holding it. Ooh, last one. And then the legs are gonna stack on top of each other, keeping the heels together. You're gonna lift just the top knee and then come back down on top of the bottom knee. So make sure you're coming right back down on top, not too far forward or back. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. You want to make sure those hips stay stacked. So you can bring your top hand behind the hip, and that should offer some assistance. Last one. Ooh, those glutes. And then you're gonna bring yourself down onto the floor. Stack your hands in front of you and just let your head rest. So we're gonna take this right into a really nice shoulder stretch so we can forget about the pain in the glutes for a little while. Slide the left hand over the palm of the right hand and then start to take that left hand up overhead, trying not to open up to the ceiling until you absolutely have to. Ooh. And then coming back behind you. So making some nice big circles with that left arm. Just coming up and over, trying to relax the neck and anywhere else you may be feeling this tension. Or hopefully it's releasing some tension for you. You can do this after a really long day of work or a long day of dealing with your children or someone else's children for that matter. That's a hard job. All right, And then bring your hands in, take a nap. Just kidding, we're gonna go to the other side. Okay, so I'm gonna flip around so you guys can still see me, duh. And you guys can just switch so that you're laying on your left side with your elbow down or your head on your shoulder, whatever feels better. And then legs are stacked, hips are stacked, belly's pulling in. Top hand is in front or resting on the hip. You're gonna hover the top leg and take it forward and back. Pressing through the heel, inhaling forward, keeping imaginary ball squeezed behind the knee. And if you have a little ball laying around, you know, give it a try. Makes a difference, you can't cheat. Pressing back, belly's in for 2. Exhale. One more time, we got those circles next. Press it back. Knee comes in front. Draw those circles from the pencil on your knee. Circling with control, the same pace the whole way around. For 2. One more, feel that medial glute right in the center. And then switch them. Ooh. One direction always feels worse than the other. That's just a fact. Last 2. 1. And then the legs come together. Feet stay stacked, clamshells. You're lifting just the top knee and then come back down. Squeezing that right glute. Back down slow. Ooh, one more. And then bring it in and lay it down, setting up for that little pinwheel stretch on this side. Your right hand is gonna slide over the top of your left and then take it up overhead. Nice big circle. This side is always a little tighter for me. Ooh, sunny. Oh, it feels good though. And then come back around. I hope you're laying in the sun somewhere as well, somewhere warm. Or maybe pretending that you're somewhere warm. That works too sometimes. Last 2 here, enjoying the stretch, just opening up the shoulders before we continue. And one more time. Take it over and bring it around. Oh, all the crunchiness in there. Whew. All right, and now carefully press yourself up. You're gonna bring yourself into this mermaid seat. There we go. And try to get both of your hip bones down. So you may feel that your right one is slightly lifted. That's okay, just work to keep it down. As long as you're working on it, it's okay. We're all working on things. You're gonna start to take your left hand down to the mat, bend into the right or left elbow as the right arm comes overhead, and then press from the left to bring yourself back up. You're taking the counter stretch next, so soft bend in that right elbow as the left arm comes overhead. Inhaling up through center. So just a couple of nice little side body stretches here. Nice little stretch before we move on with a little bit more hip work. And then I want you to take this all the way down. So your right hand's gonna join the left on the mat. You can walk them a little further apart. And then I want you to bend into the elbows and press yourself back up. So it's working to keep your chest square to the floor, right in between your hands. And then you're gonna add a leg lift. So that right leg behind you is gonna come up and then back down. Pressing yourself up and down as the leg comes with you. One more, come down and hold. Elbows stay bent. You're gonna keep that leg lifted, straighten it out, and then bend it back in. Straighten it out, and then bend it back in. Feeling, whoo, that hamstring curl. Exhale, straighten and hold it here. Now you're gonna lift up, reach through the toes, and then come back down. That leg is gonna hover. You can kiss your forehead to the mat, and then press back up. One more time, kiss your forehead to the mat, and then press back up. That right leg bends in, and you come all the way up. One last counter stretch. And then take it back up through center. Hands come behind you. You're gonna switch the legs, nice and pretty, and then get set up for the other side. Right hand comes down to the mat, bend into the right elbow, left hand is gonna come up and over, and then take it back overhead and switch sides. So just find whatever pace feels right for your body. I always go by my breath, but it may be different for you. So find what feels good for your body, and I invite you to explore that. Last one here, you're gonna take that left hand over to the floor with you, squaring your chest off to the floor, bend into both elbows, and then press yourself up. So you're gonna feel a nice little stretch for that right glute. Pressing up and down away from the floor. One more time here. And then the next time you come down, you're gonna take the left leg up with you. So just hovering the bent leg and then coming back up. Pressing yourself to the floor and then pressing yourself away. One more time, come down, hold here, extend the left leg and then bend it in. Feeling that hamstring curl. Squeeze it in, inhale, extend, exhale, bend. One more extend and hold. Press up, reach through the left toes into the floor. Inhale, come down, bend into both elbows, lift that leg. Pressing up, reach through the toes. And then bring it back down. One more time, press up. And then bend into that leg, come all the way through, take that counter stretch. And then come back up through center. And bring yourself onto all fours. All right, almost to our cool down here. So actually a little wardrobe adjustment if you need it here. It's always a good time. Okay, so now is where we're really gonna get those wrists open. We got our blood flow in our hips. We're gonna really try to get in there a little deeper. So if this part gets uncomfortable, please feel free to skip it or do something that does feel better. You're gonna start by taking your right hand, slide it along the mat, left leg is gonna float away in opposition, the hips stay level. I want you to come back down to the mat and take the left arm, right leg away. And then bring it back into the mat. Floating up in opposition, the belly pulls back to your spine, neck is long. Left side. This is kind of like putting it all together at this point. All the coordination, all the arms, legs, abs, hold here. Right arm, left leg lifted. You're gonna take them out to the sides, holding here. If you do yoga, this is awkward airplane. You're gonna take it here and just come a little bit further, pulsing the hand back and the toes forward. Little pulses here, getting into that joint. For 2, 1, hold. Little lift and lowers. Both the arm and the leg. 2, 1, take it back in front. Lower the hand. Now I want you to take that left leg, bring the foot behind you, tap the toe, and then come back and over to the other side, tap the toe. Up and over, behind, up and over, in front. One more time, up and over, behind, hold it here. Bring the toes down, press through your heel, and just enjoy that stretch. It should feel good. And then take that left leg in, shake out the hips. And then you're gonna take your left hand, right leg up. So starting with that balance, and then take it into that awkward airplane, opening out to the sides, pulsing the hand back, the leg forward, kicking. For 2, 1, hold, lifting up. 2, 1, arm and leg come back, hand comes down to the mat. Take the leg, tap it behind the bent leg, and then come back and over. So just alternating tapping to one side of your yoga mat, and then the other. And you can make this as big or as small, or don't do it at all, as you'd like. And then come behind and hold it. Press through those toes, feel that stretch through your glute. It should feel good here. And then bring that leg back in. Shake out the hips. And then we're just gonna get a little stretching for the wrists. You're just gonna hinge forward and back, just bringing a little bit more pressure into the hands, and then taking it away. I like to add breath here just because it makes sense for me, but you can do what feels right, just don't hold your breath. And then you're gonna start to make some circles. So just circling your body weight over your hands, moving whatever direction feels best. And we'll get a chance to switch after this one. And then switch directions. Oh, getting a lot of blood flow in there. And then holding here. Now this is where it may get a little intense, so feel free to just take this to your own level. You're gonna flip your right hand over so that your back of the hand is resting on the mat and the palm is reaching up towards you. And then you're gonna make little tiny circles. Using your left hand for support, you can determine how much weight you put on that right wrist. Now if you have carpal tunnel or any cysts in your wrist, this might not be a good thing for you. You might want to skip this part or take it down a notch. Reversing those circles. And then you're going to take that right hand very carefully. Take a nice big inhale, reach up to your right side, and then exhale, reach that right hand underneath the left arm, bending into the left. Getting a nice little twist here. And we'll thread the needle. And then you'll bring the arm out from there. Bring it back down. Notice, might feel a little bit different. And then your left hand, you're gonna flip that one over and then make some little circles. Maybe you just need to bring the hand in closer to your body. Whatever feels good for you. I think a lot of Pilates is teaching body awareness. So that's my goal, is to teach you how to understand your own body better through these movements. And then reverse the circle, take it the other way. Noticing if one side felt different than the other, and acknowledging that difference. And then start to bring the left hand off the mat, take it up to the sky. Exhale, reach it under, bend into the right arm, threading the needle. And then gently take your left hand back out. Both hands in front, you're just gonna slide them away and bring it into a child's pose. So forehead is just gonna rest down on the mat. Shake everything out here. I want you to feel like you're just melting into the surface of your yoga mat. Letting yourself kind of let go of everything that doesn't serve you anymore. Only holding on to that does. Think about letting one thing go for every breath you exhale. On your final breath here, I want you to start walking your hands back towards your knees. Your head is gonna stay down. You can close your eyes. And just roll up very slowly. And then bring it into a comfortable seat. Give yourself some credit for making the time for yourself your health, and your overall well-being. Your body will only thank you for that. And thank you so much for joining me for this class today. I hope that you enjoyed the class. Feel free to drop a comment of any other types of classes you'd like to see me do, or specific modifications for injuries. I love to do specific things for special people. So please let me know, and have a great afternoon.
My poetry's never failed.